Hello again, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you remember the last time I left you, we were having a really hard time getting this boat to start. This footage is actually the last underway that I had before we really got into the nitty gritty of what was wrong with the boat. So I'm only going to crank this over a few times. Has anybody heard a sound like this before? Cranking the boat engine over. Yeah, as you can hear, that is absolutely not good. Not good whatsoever. Yeah, not good. So if you look here, this is me trying to apply some throttle to keep the engine running. Unfortunately, you notice a few different noises here. You can hear the hard to start, the motor struggling to stay running, as well as a high-pitched mechanical clink or clunk, however you describe it. And at this point, I wasn't really sure what exactly to do. I ended up taking the motor to a local shop. I really wanted to avoid ever having to do that because I'm a really hands-on guy. I like doing my own work, and unfortunately I did not have the time and really the knowledge set to be able to take this on. Now what you're seeing in the video are some of the exhaust elbows here. If you look at the great amount of rust, we had cascading problems. Long story short, we had a leak. And when I say leak, I mean inside of the engine bay, salt water was actually coming out because, of course, my boat is cooled by the ocean or whatever body of water you're in. And in an area where we use our boats, a lot of salt water. So salt water was leaking from the exhaust, causing a lot of oxidation. Ended up dripping on the starter, causing the starter to come loose. You'll see that here in a minute. And the starter came loose because the bolts rusted. One problem. Two, we actually had, as you can see, this is one of the valve covers, completely rusted, as I mentioned earlier, and that's because, once again, of that saltwater intrusion. Not something you really ever want to see inside of the boat, as the idea is to keep water outside of the boat. What you're looking at right now is the starter that was removed from the boat. This is the bad starter. As you can see, there's a great amount of rust on the terminals. The body itself of the starter had some surface rust. And all in all, this thing just was not functioning properly. The biggest problem being because the bolts came loose, the teeth on the actual starter wheel ground down to the point where it was not making good contact with the ring that is on the engine, or the ring gear is what they call it. Didn't end up replacing the ring gear, and the whole boat is in the shop. And I think at this point it was July, and I was really down because we wanted to take the boat out, and we missed the 4th of July. We missed a lot of time on the water, but again, I didn't have the knowledge set, and with part delays for Mercruiser V8s and all the parts that we had, it just wasn't a good idea for me to try to do this myself. So I took it to a professional who is a certified Mercruiser dealer, who knows how to work on them, who's certified to work on them, to do all the work. Look at these exhaust manifolds too. You could tell that they were replaced. I was told these are not very high end, so I might not keep them for a very long time. Which leads me to the heads. If you look, there's a lot of surface rust on the heads. And initially, the clunk that I heard, I thought was coming from somewhere in the engine. I wasn't exactly sure. I knew that the starter was making weird noises, but the guy at the, I won't say his name, at the shop did a compression test, and he found out that compression was low in a lot of the cylinders. Go figure, right? Not, again, what you want to hear. If you look at the underside, where the head gasket's making contact, you can see, especially in the center right there in your screen, it's a little bit darker right there where I'm pointing, because there is an exhaust leak and our compression was escaping from the cylinder, resulting in our hard to start problem. And this was on both sides. So once again, you're looking at the rust on the outside of the head. Not ideal. Water needs to stay out of the boat. And again, you can see where even the valves, you can see the difference in coloration. The center valves on these heads, you could definitely tell were not able to do their job because they're lacking compression. Here's the head gasket. If you look in the very middle right here, you can see where the head gasket was giving us some problems. So remove this, replace it. The engine block wasn't warped, so we were able to reuse the engine block. Here's the other head gasket. Take a look at it. Now I felt tons of despair. Didn't know what to do exactly. But you know what we did? We ended up going with brand new heads. I personally think they look remanufactured, which wouldn't be surprising. It's quite common to reuse these heads.
That looks like a reman
So
head to
new
me.
heads, new head gaskets. We reuse a lot of the old parts, as you can see here in the next clip. This is almost a month later. We got everything reassembled, a lot of new parts. There's so much work that has gone into the boat at this point, and I was so excited because the boat had been in the shop for 2 whole months. And in the very next clip, as you can see right here, we got the boat home. Take a listen. As you can see, motor was running very, very strong. Of course, that's not without dropping a little bit of money in this project to bring the boat back to, I guess, what you could call its former glory. Still an old boat. We're talking a 1997 Maxum 2300. And what you're seeing now is the really, really outstanding opportunity to take it on its maiden voyage, or rather a sea trial at this point, with the motor repairs, new head gaskets, new heads, exhaust billows cleaned out, new carburetor, new starter. A lot of the work that we put into this boat. And we're talking, we invested probably $4,500 in the boat just to get it back in the water at the very, very end of the season.
I see him.
Well, at this point, you see there's at least 2 trips we took the boat out on. Both very good trips until we had a couple small issues. I think we've got some ignition problems that are probably pretty easy to resolve. Unfortunately, though, like I said, it was the end of the season, so we didn't get much opportunity to take the boat out as much as we wanted to. But we got the chance to take the boat out. It ran great, and although it cost a lot of money, it's well worth it. So thanks for watching.
So, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing to those that are subscribed. I think last I looked, I had 100 subscribers. So thank you so much to everybody that looked at the videos, that liked the videos, that's commented. I really appreciate it. It's been about a year since we uploaded because we had a loss in our family. A friend of mine passed away, and I say family, he was my family. I know we weren't related biologically, but that and a slew of other things happened, but we're back now with new content, and I actually have another purchase. I guess you can call me a glutton for punishment, but we have another purchase. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm an idiot. Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, stick around. I think you're gonna like what we got planned, or what we've already done. Not really planned, we already bought it. So I think I said a whole bunch of stuff without saying a bunch of stuff. So yep, see you in the next video.